Guys, Brian back here with a look at natural gas. Alright, this stock here. You can see back here how we had this falling wedge and a breakout. I love falling wedges. One of my favorite patterns for sure. Okay, we had a support line here. Actually, this ended up being a wedge pattern here. You can also see had a line right through here. Okay, that thing ended up breaking out of there too. It fell right back into another wedge pattern. So this thing is, it followed this trend line right up. So this thing's been doing, up and down. That's for sure. Ran up here to 15 bucks. Had a low down here of holy cow, 40 cents. Wow, that was back in 09, 08. Holy cow, 35 cents actually. So 33 was the low. Had a high of 1977 back when was that, back in 07, and then by 08 it dropped down to 33 cents. That's crazy. Wow, what a drop, that's for sure. But we're looking at this this chart here. Okay, I was looking at this before the video. All right, you can see in here what's going on here. All right, you can see it did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it did 5 waves down there, and then it did a 6th wave up and a 7th wave down, which should be, this should be a bottom here. Okay, in all reality, you usually, if you do your 5 waves down, if that doesn't signify the bottom, this rolls back up into the 4th wave and you have a 7th wave down, that's normally, that's your bottom. Okay, so looks like we might have a bounce coming out of this thing. All right, we're gonna mark the bottom right there, right down there, roughly $3.84. Okay, now you can see the resistance here that this thing is going to be coming up against. All right, now if we look at these RSIs, the weekly is at a 48 and a 45, heading up very low down here. It's at a 37 down on the RSI, so that's telling me it has a lot of room to move here. The monthly is trying to curve up. Okay, you can see down here this thing is curving, and up here it's starting to tick towards the upside. Okay, the daily has turned up. Okay, so I'm looking for a big move in this thing pretty soon. That's for sure. I believe once it gets up towards this wedge, it's as long as all these RSIs are are lining up right, I believe this thing's gonna have a pretty big breakout here. Okay, that's for sure, especially if it breaks this resistance here. All right, we reached that daily. It's about half the way up there though. Okay, so but you got lots of room down here. It can run at the top for a while. Just to give you an idea, look right here, it was at the top. Okay, right here, which marked right here in the price action. Look what happened after it hit the top. Still ended up running up there and still charging up through there. So that don't really mean a whole lot. It can stay at the top for a while. Okay, over here, pretty much the same thing. Once it got there, right here, it got to the top right there, and it still had a nice push up. So that don't mean a whole lot. And if it gets a push up out of here, especially with the let's see, that monthly, if that monthly ticks back up here, this thing can end up having a nice pop out of here. Okay, a normal area for a bounce area would be a 618 on a fib. All right, so if we get a bounce out of here, a 618, let's see where that would bring us. 618 would bring this thing up to right around 8 bucks. Okay, a 702, if we get up to there, 9 bucks. And of course, if it breaks that 786, who knows how high this thing could go. But if we get to break out of this resistance, watch for this thing to head towards the $8 range. Okay, that would be a very common place for it to go. Usually if it's a crypto or a stock, whatever, normally you'll get to that 618 or the 702, and either it's going to roll over from there or it's going to take off from there, one of the two. You know, I'll give you an example back here. If we look through this back price action in the past, let's get a look here. If we have enough price action, we might have to go into the daily. Let's see here. Alright, well, you can see this move, just this move right here. Okay, if you put a Fibonacci on it, pull it down, you know, it ran up, it got up to that 786, and then it rolled over from there. It got rejected, made another run up to the 702, and then got rejected down from there. Alright, but normally, like I said, you put a fib on there, you know, where you can tell where you're, you can even look for pullback areas, you know, with a Fibonacci. If you're not familiar with this, I have a level 3 in my membership that I'm starting to teach people how to use Fibonacci's, RSI's, trend lines, resistance lines, fallen wedges, everything I know I'm starting to put in there, 1 or 2 videos a week. You can join that level 3 and learn how to do this stuff, or just a basic membership's 99 cents a month. You know, that would help out a lot. Just a little channel, so every bit of help would help, guys. So if you put a fib, if you go from the bottom to the top, all right, you go from your bottom right here to the top of the move. All right, normally your 618 or 702 is your bounce area. Okay, if what we were looking at here is if this price went up, okay, and started retracing, we would be looking for a place for it to stop. Okay, the 618 is the golden pocket to the 702. That's your normal area for a bounce, and look what happened. Got to the 702. That's where you got your bounce from. Okay, so that's where it took off, and then it ended up running up to that 786 on the fib on the upside and rolled over. But right now, in my opinion, this thing could be heading for a big breakout here. Okay, if we get the breakout of this resistance area, watch for the $8. That's up the 618 fib area, and that would be a good starting spot for this thing to go. We were looking at that on what, the weekly here. It was right from the top, yeah, right from the top here with the RSI. That'd be up to $8. So keep your eye on natural gas. All right, I believe this thing is bottomed. It did 7 waves down. That usually signifies a bottom. Okay, I don't expect it to go any lower. Keep your eye on it. All right, guys, thank you very much. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I just show you what I see happening in the charts, and that's it, guys. So please consult a professional with stuff like that. Don't listen to anybody on any YouTube videos, you know, unless you have the same outlook, you know. So all right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night.